Good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 150 of A Course in Miracles. Again, I think it's the last review. Let me see. Yes, it's the last review, yay, of 2 prior lessons. So the umbrella line, the headline says, "My mind holds only what I think with God." And the review is of lesson 139. It says, "I will accept atonement for myself." In lesson 140, only salvation can be said to cure. And right away, I'm the way I'm reading through this book is not through the Christian lens, because I feel like that's very limiting when I think of what traditional Christian theology imposes upon our thinking. So the way I see it is I find these different words. Yes, I believe Christ was a person, Jesus, and he has a lot of ideals we can aspire to. And he was an awakened individual, and he tried to awaken others. And so that's how I think of this text, is everything goes back to just getting people to be like, to know thyself and gradually awaken to the oneness of all things. So with that in mind, this idea of atonement and salvation, those words to me are steeped in the Christian theology, which when we just, a lot of times I think of, you just say those words as if we know what they mean. And there's a lot wrapped in it. It's just a lot to unpack. And for me, when I think about the way this book talks about atonement, salvation, all of those traditional Christian theological words, it's really about acceptance, forgiveness. Even forgiveness comes down to acceptance. So and it says, with atonement and salvation, in Christian world, it's about sin, this idea of sin. Well, this book goes beyond that and says, really, there's really no such thing as sin. There really isn't. And so when I think about this idea of atonement, it's acceptance. I will accept acceptance for all that is for myself. Like, we do things that are not in alignment with our greatest good and our highest wisdom for what we're meant to be doing here, which is to be in service to each other. So if we're not in alignment with that, we come into alignment, and that's a version of atonement. And to come into alignment is also to seek salvation. So these words to me are about acceptance and coming into alignment with what we really are, which is one luminous, spacious, interconnected consciousness. So that's how I say this book. And when I look at these words because there's a lot of language in here that just doesn't resonate with me. And so I'm finding my own way to resonate with it based on what the book even says it's all about. Yet it still uses these old words that they're just like so dense with dogma, and I don't think it wants it to be read in that density. It wants to move beyond that, but this book was written a long time ago. So anyway, all that aside, that's what I got from this lesson, coming into alignment with unity. I will accept that for myself, and that's the only thing that can be said to cure. Meaning, coming into alignment is curing yourself of the illusion of separateness. That's all. Lesson 150, guys. We made it to 150. I don't know. I like round numbers. Bye.